Morning folks, not been awake long, so forgive my bleary-eyed, half-asleep appearance, but this is a special celebratory episode. We managed to hit the milestone that running YouTubers always look forward to of 26.2 subscribers. Well, actually blown straight past that and hit 28 by this stage, but let's not go mad. So I'm going to celebrate by running my first marathon, but obviously I'm not quite up to running 26.2 miles with my current running history and experience, so I'm going to do a metric marathon, 26.2 kilometres. There will be walking breaks as usual. The furthest I've ever been on a run walk is half marathon distance at this point, so it's going to be an extra 5 and a bit K more than I've ever done. And that half marathon was a few months ago, so it's a challenge that befits this special occasion. So I'm not going to go by heart rate today. I'm going to try and run gently for as much of it as I can, and then what to say I'm going to let my watch alert me every kilometre, so I can just kind of walk, catch my breath, update you on how things are going, and then yeah, there's going to be 26 of those, so something to look forward to. I imagine my mood will change over the course of it, but it stopped raining for the time being. The weather feels like 2 degrees apparently. It's actually about 4 degrees, so it's not exactly warm, but I've wrapped up. I've got my spare warm hat and some food and drink with me, so let's get going. Okay, 1 kilometre done. Been running up to now, and not gonna lie, I'm feeling a bit rusty. Legs are a little bit more beaten up than perhaps should have been at the start of this venture. It's Saturday morning now. I went out on Thursday evening with my daughter. She was on a bicycle and I was chasing after her for about 8 kilometres, so my shins can feel that at the moment. Hips a little bit tight, but hopefully they'll loosen up. So yeah, kilometre 1 done. Carry on. Right, that's the 2nd kilometre done. I did have to take an extra walking break towards the end there. My shins a little bit sore. Not quite to the point that caused me to abandon a run a few weeks ago, but it's building up. So yeah, it's not guaranteed that this will get finished, but we'll try and take a sensible but not too chicken approach, and see how we get on. I find that running gently makes the cars feel a bit better than walking, strangely enough, at the moment, so a bit of a gentle jog seems to ease it off a bit. So we'll try that approach and get on to the next kilometre. Approaching the point where I decided to abort last time I had leg problems. I can either carry on around the trail or go through into the farmer's field and head back down towards home. Decisions. Okay, still on the trail, 3 kilometres in. I'm working with the theory that maybe I've just got some lactic acid build up in my lower legs at the moment, so spending some time just trying to walk that off. Also cinched my shoes up extra tight this morning, which probably wouldn't help with the circulation down there, so I loosened those off a bit. So with any luck, we should be back on. See how we go. Okay, well, if it is lactic acid, it's very persistent. Walking usually clears that up after a while, and yeah, it is a little bit better now, but yeah, still my shins are aching, kind of like growing pains. But yeah, just as I had thoughts of planning my escape route back home and what I was going to say to end the video, and when I was going to reattempt this and how long it would take to recover and all these other thoughts that were going through my head, I got caught in a 4-way runner sandwich. 2 ladies running towards me from the front, so I kind of stepped to the edge of the path, and then I heard footsteps from behind, and there were 2 gentlemen, a lady and a gentleman running from behind me. So I kind of let everybody go past, watched the lady and gentleman trot off into the distance, and yeah, the jealousy got to me. I'm like, oh man, I just want to run. So unfair. So carried on walking, not towards home, still on the original planned route. 26.2 kilometers. What am I thinking? There may be some walking involved, as usual. But yeah, I'm thinking, what would Ben Notley do? Yeah, carry on. What David Goggins do, you know, those two are much of a muchness. So I'm going to carry on. Walking seems to ease things off a bit, so I've always got that option. But I did tell my wife I'd only be about 3 hours. Maybe that was a bit optimistic. See you at lunchtime. This is the section of the trail that they're resurfacing. Actually feels quite nice and bouncy underfoot. Well, in these shoes it does anyway. It's quite enjoyable. Yeah, not so many places to turn your ankle. It's hardly very traily, but certainly is nice. Okay, still going. The legs are kind of easing up a bit. Just trying to find some running form that doesn't feel painful, and yet it's something close to what I call good running form at the same time, so I'm not compromising things too much. But yeah, I can bounce along the downhills especially. And manageable. Quite a lot of uphills heading this way, and obviously the reverse coming back, so it's still a mixture, a bit of a roller coaster. So yeah, I'm heading towards 7 kilometers done, and that will probably be at about the 1 hour point. So yeah, it's going to take slightly longer than I expected, but yeah, at least we're still in it. This hill's the highlight of this section of the trail. It just goes on and on and on. I did manage to run most of the way up it one time before my heart rate alert went off. I think I'd got my eyes in line with the horizon. It was a decent effort, but maybe not today. Made it to Tib Shelf. Not part of the trail that I usually feature on my videos, because I don't come this way unless I'm doing ridiculous distances. And here we are. I'll get to the end of the Five Pits Trail section in another few kilometres, and then follow the Silverline Trail, I think it's called, to the end of there, and then that's my turnaround point. Okay, still in Tib Shelf. My left knee's starting to ache a bit, as it does these days after a decent amount of distance. That first started when I did that half marathon run walk. So I was getting to the last few kilometres of that. I decided to try and get a decent time and started running. And a lot of it was downhill on the trails. My legs were banging into the ground, and yeah, my knees never thanked me for that. But if you just want to switch on X-ray mode in your YouTube settings, perhaps we can just do a quick scan. You can tell me what's up with it. Yeah, so let me know in the comments. This is where the Five Pits Trail ends, as far as I know. And it meets the Silver Hill Trail, which runs from left to right across the end here. And I'll be going right. I'm sure I just heard horses' hooves somewhere, so if I get trampled, it was nice knowing you. Oh gosh, looks a bit muddy down here. Okay, that's 10k done in a record time of 1 hour 23 minutes. No stopping me. Still on the Silverline Trail. Not quite sure how long till the end of this one, maybe 1.5, 2k, and I'll turn around, head back. That doesn't mean I'm at the halfway point, of course. but I was when I did the half marathon, so there's an extra loop of the trail at the end just to make the distance up. Approaching the end of the Silverline Trail now. My half marathon route took me just down the little lane to the right and then a few metres along the main road, just waiting for my watch to tell me I'd done 10.55 kilometres, so I knew I was halfway. Yeah, pretty much planned the same thing for this one, just for old time's sake. This is it. Take one more step, I'll be the furthest from home I've ever been on a run walk that set off from home. Here we go. I'll get as far as this post. That's definitely a new record. Right, heading back. Okay, just approaching 13.1 kilometres, so halfway through. Just eating my food, which was a banana, which was all I could rustle up in the house this morning. As you know, I've been planning this for a few weeks, so the plan was grab some food in the morning and that's what I found, so maybe some more detail required next time, but you know, it's good enough for tennis players, so see how we go. The knees not too bad, but yeah, I know it's there. Let's get this second half done. Just got a text message from my wife asking if I could make her a cup of coffee. I let her know I was in Tibshelf, so I might be a minute. She told me to run faster. Harsh. Back at the top of that big hill. This is the kind of thing my knees don't like if I run down too fast with my current running form. I'll take it steady. Right, just got over 16 kilometres done, so I think it's 10 miles done, 10 kilometres to go. So I guess we've broken its back, for want of a more nice sounding phrase. Oh, wow. Well, my shins aren't too bad, they're in the normal running state now. They seem to have warmed up and flushed out and whatever they needed to do. And the left knee is just in its normal running state really at this point in the run. It's nagging but not getting any worse. So let's go. I wish I'd brought some kind of go-kart for this bit. Probably would have killed me carrying it all this way, like, but right now I just need to ride down the hill. Okay, at this point, if you could all just visualise or pray for a nice clear route with no impassable floods, that'd be good. Around the corner is where I usually get my feet wet, so fingers crossed. Yeah, nice work guys. I think I can actually get past this lot. Just about. The big flood looks like a baby flood today anyway, so that's the main thing. I say baby. Let's just pause and figure out which route you take across this. Be my guest. Whoa. Whoa. I'm guessing nobody picked this route. Made it. Whew. I've just reached the half marathon distance for the second time in my life. Not as fast as the last one. First one I did in 2 hours 24. I got to this one in 2 hours 48, so a significant difference, but obviously still got 5k to go now, so can't be rushing these things. Okay, that's 22.3 kilometers done. Is it just me, or does anyone else feel really knackered right now? You know, like lifting your arms or legs is feels the same as competing in the world's strongest man events. It's just getting heavy. But yeah, 4 kilometers to go, and a little warm down walk home. How hard can it be? Yeah, I notice you're not running this way, are you? Lazy water. Leave me to do all the hard work. Turns out packing the extra warm hat in my bag wasn't needed. I'm melting. I've never reached this point before where after a walking break the thought of running again just sounds like a terrible idea. Oh, my legs are like lead weights filled with acid. But yeah, once you do talk yourself into running again, you can do a few 100 meters and bounce along okay. Not far left. Wow, made it. The only thing keeping me running at the end there was the thought of getting home earlier.